If you guys flip the page one more time, you should see a supporting document checklist. This is our preliminary screening of the application. You want to remember to give us at least 50% of these documents with your application for us to even keep it here in the office and start the process. Less than 50%, you get a letter in the mail telling you that we don't have enough to process your application and you have to wait 30 days to reapply. So let's cover this supporting document checklist. What we did was we broke it down into what we expect to see from all applicants and then what we expect to see from you depending on how your company is structured. So under all applicants, the very first thing you guys see is we need documented proof of initial investment used to acquire majority ownership from each owner. So what we're asking for there is what money was used or what equipment was used, what was your contribution to support your ownership claim. If it was cash or money in the bank, then you need to show us where that money came from and where it went to. So bank statements, canceled checks, both sides, wire transfers showing us where it came from, and then show us what you did with that money. Did you put it into a business account? Did you start purchasing equipment? Whatever you did, you need to show us the proof of that. If your contribution was anything other than that, then we need the backup documentation of that. Now, if you have applied for DBE, SBA 8A, or SDB certification, you've been denied or decertified, we need you guys to turn in that information for us. We do need you guys to provide work experience resumes for all owners, all officers, and anyone listed in Section 3 and Section 4B of this application. Your ownership, the resume should cover places of ownership and employment with corresponding dates and job descriptions for each position held. Again, we need you guys to give us work experience resumes with proof of payment for each area in which you seek certification. So if you're applying for certification in drywall installation, then we expect to see invoices and proof of payment for drywall installation. Okay. If you're asking for more than one thing, make sure you include invoices and proof of payment to include everything you're asking for. Now, we do need one of the following for each minority or woman owner, which would be a U.S. birth certificate, U.S. passport, naturalization document, permanent resident card, or a tribal card. We need your firm signed tax returns plus all related schedules. When we say all related schedules, what we're asking for is every page of your tax return. We need it for the past 3 years. Right now, we're collecting 2014, 2013, and 2012. But if you filed an extension for 2014, then we need the extension in 2013, 2012, and 2011. Now, yes, sir.
So what if you just started?
If you just started, again, your DBA or your corporate documents will let us know. Yeah. Now, we need the tax returns for not only the company making the application, but any other company you have ownership in. You turn those in. We need documented proof of ownership or signed leases for all real estate. That would include your office space, your storage space, your warehouse space, your yard space, anything that you're using to operate your business. We need the documented proof, which would be any lease agreements or property tax statements or deeds. We need you guys to give us a list of equipment that you either lease or own. If you lease that equipment, we need the lease agreements. If you own it, then we need the proof of purchase or receipts. The very next thing on that list would be a list of construction equipment. So we would need the same thing, proof of purchase for that equipment or titles of proof for it. We need all current license renewal forms, permits, and haul authority forms. Now, the next one asks for customer references, including contact name and phone number for whom you have performed work. And this would be work performed under your company. And this should be people we can reach between 8 and 5, Monday through Friday. We need your firm sign. Yes, sir.
What if the company is new to the point that there haven't been any clients or work up to this point?
For this certification, You have to have at least one invoice and proof of payment to apply, which means you have at least one customer.
Okay, so that first invoice, it has to be a customer on that invoice.
Right. So for us to even process this application, you have to have invoiced and been paid under your company name at least once. So you should have at least one reference. Now we do need your firm signed loan agreements, security agreements, and bonding forms. And we need a copy of your company bank signature card. We need documented proof of any transfers of assets to or from your firm or to or from any of its owners, which took place over the past 2 years. And if you are out-of-state business, yes, ma'am.
When you say your company's bank signature card, is that your bank card, your bank account? What?
It's the sheet of paper that you sign that has the signature on it. The bank needed a copy of your signature, and normally they print it out and give it to you, showing everyone who can sign on an account. That's the one we're looking for. Now, if you are out-of-state business, you must get the certificate of authority to do business in Texas before applying for certification with the City of Houston. Now, this application has 2 affidavits. On the very back page, there's an affidavit of non-interest. This affidavit of non-interest should be completed by every owner. So run a copy of this page and give it to every owner because it must be signed and notarized by each. And we just need to know if you are an officer or employee of the City of Houston. Now, right on the other side of that, it's an affidavit of certification. The affidavit of certification should be completed by the owner or owners it takes to make up at least 51% ownership of the company. Okay. So if you guys don't have any questions about what we expect to see from all applicants, then let's look at how the businesses are structured. These are additional documents that you guys would need to turn in. So sole proprietorships, do we have any here? Yes. Okay, so sole proprietorships. You guys need to give us a copy of your assumed name certificate, but we also need your personal tax returns. So 2014, 2013, and 2012, every page. Any regular dealers, suppliers, or brokers here?
I buy a stop sign, some flag to the other people, other flag.
So if you're applying for certification as a supplier of those, we would need the proof of warehouse or ownership or lease, the list of the product line you carry, and the distribution equipment that you own or lease. Corporations or LLCs? Yes? So corporations, we need your official certificate of incorporation. You got that from the Secretary of State as a form letter saying on this day you're eligible to work in the state of Texas under this name. We need a copy of that letter. LLCs, yours is the same letter, but it's the certificate of organization. You guys had to get articles approved by the Secretary of State. So corporations, we need your official articles of incorporation signed by the state official. And LLCs, we need your articles of organization. Now, corporations, we need a copy of your corporate bylaws and any amendments. LLCs, we have here rules and regulations and any amendments, but if you have a company agreement or an operating agreement, that'll work too. Those and any amendments. Corporations, we need both sides of your stock certificates and a copy of your stock transfer ledger. LLCs, we need a copies of your members agreement. Now, the next one is optional for LLCs, but corporations, you need to give us a copy of your current minutes of all stockholders and board of directors meeting minutes describing the ownership, management, and control. Both LLCs and corporations need to give us copies of the corporate bank resolution, and both need to give us current financials, including a balance sheet and income statement, which must be completed by an independent CPA or accountant. Okay. So that's what we expect to see on top of everything under all applicants from corporations and LLCs.
And how far does the financial statements that need to be certified by the CPA need to go?
It's the most current, so whatever your most current is, probably December 2014.
Is that what you mean, like the last quarter?
Do you get them prepared quarterly?
Well, I do prepare quarterly, but we don't have a CPA.
Okay. Okay, so we wouldn't be able to accept the ones off like QuickBooks or anything like that. So whatever you would bring to your CPA, they would prepare for us, and then we would accept.
Right. I'm just trying to see how far back do they need to go.
Oh, the CPA would have to ask you for that documentation.
Well, no, because he's gonna ask me how far back do you guys need. So how far do you need it for the whole time we've been in business to be certified, or just the
We ask for the most current, and most companies do them by year. So
the last year?
if they want to prepare them by the year, so yeah. Now we don't need the compilation letter. We just need it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Now, any trucking companies here? Okay, so on top of that information, you still need to give us documented proof of ownership of your company, insurance for each truck that's owned and operated, titles and registration for each truck owned and operated, and a list of your DOT numbers. Partnership, joint ventures, or franchises. It's a few extra documents that we need for those, which will be official certificate of partnership and the original and amended partnership agreement or joint venture agreements. Now, if there's anyone applying for persons with disability business enterprise, it requires a disability affidavit and a letter from a state of Texas certified medical doctor. Or if you're a veteran with a service-connected disability, we need a disability rating letter from the Department of Veteran Affairs, establishing a service-connected disability rating between 0 and 100, or a disability determination from the Department of Defense. Any questions about the documents that we need back to process your applications? Now, again, these are the documents that we have to have at least 50% of to even make a record for you and keep it here in the office. Less than 50%, we can't start processing your application, and you'll get a letter back stating you have to wait 30 days from the day you submitted it in. Yes, sir.
What's the length of time that you guys certify?
So we have up to 90 days to process an application from the time it makes it to my desk. We've been processing in less than 30, but that's as of this day.
Okay.
Just know we have up to 90 days to process one.
So it's been short.
Yes, sir. Oh, yes. Now, any questions about the checklist here? No. General,
Can we call? Is there a number to call if we do have a question later?
yes, the yellow flyer has the hotline number listed at the bottom of it. And under that hotline number, we're option number 1. But if you hit any option and ask for certification, it'll come back to us. Now, in general, I like to tell our applicants, if you pull out this information first, you should be able to breeze through the application and fill it out. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the application. The very first page of it is just contact information for your company. If you guys look at number 11, we ask you to put a physical address listed there. This is where we'll come to perform your on-site visit, your field audit. If you guys don't have any questions about that page,
What if you work out of your home?
we'll come to your home. Yes, ma'am. So just list that there in number 11, and if it's the same mailing address, put it in number 12 too. All right, well, let me get you guys to flip the page. Now, 13 and 14, we asked you about when the company started and when you became an owner of the company. And then 16, we asked you to describe the primary activities of the firm. What we're looking for there is what you're looking to get certified to do with the City of Houston. Whatever you list in number 16, you want to make sure you give us invoices and proof of payment for. For the licenses required, make sure you include the license with the file, and make sure that you, as the qualifying owner, has the training expertise to perform the work listed in number 16.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so if I want to sell backhoes or forklifts, but I never sold one of those. I have to have an invoice for that.
For the back or
I want to sell heavy equipment.
okay.
But I haven't sold a piece of heavy equipment. I can't get certified, but I have sold other smaller construction type items.
Okay. So it depends on what you're listing here in number 16 and what you give us as far as invoices and proof of payment. And just know all ultimate decisions are made by the committee. So between the time you turn in the application, we get to the site visit and it goes to committee, we'll all be on the same page as far as what you would be getting as far as certification. So me answering yes or no now, I can't because we don't have enough to give an answer.
So, I'm understanding you right. Even though I'm like a supervisor of another company, and I decided to start my own company, I have to at least have done business under the name of my own company.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Now the rest of this page here is just more general information about your company. So tell us how many employees you have. List any relatives or owners included by marriage that are employed by the city of Houston, and then tell us about the gross receipts. So just more general information about the company. But then we get to number 22, the top of the next page, and you guys should see our 4 certifications.